It is a matter of time before lawmakers in other states are induced, coerced, blackmailed, or even railroaded into dumping the party on whose platform they were elected for the APC. When that begins to happen, it will be too late to make any demand on those who will engage in such nefarious acts if we do not at this time correct those that have stood our democracy on its head. Of course, we are familiar with how one-party rule inexplicably results in dictatorship. Gentlemen of the press, trust us. When we say this is a slippery slope we do not want to dance to, if we trust us when we say this is a slippery slope we do not want to dance around because of the inherent dangers. At a time when we now fear for our judiciary, this slap on the face of the law further undermines the judiciary if what the Supreme Court has been definite about in the past is again resurfaced. The Supreme Court has sacked lawmakers who became members of political parties that did not sponsor them into parliament, even when their initial political parties were in crisis. To now repeat the same political brigandage and expect the Supreme Court to budge its insanity because the only explanation would be that a plot had been perfected to undermine the judiciary in this manner, which is an even bigger threat to democracy. Our Congress, the NDC, is not unaware of the political connection at play here. It is common knowledge that the immediate past governor of Rivers State, Mr. Nyesom Wike, is at loggerheads with the incumbent governor, His Excellency Siminalayi Fubara. We have no qualms with Wike decamping from the PDP to APC. We have no qualms at all. In fact, he currently holds no elected position, so the vacation of office do not apply to him. But since the Rivers 27 lawmakers, in their recognition of Wike as their godfather, decide to cross into the APC ahead of him, they are welcome to do so. But that is to the extent they comply with the law by vacating their position. The dangerous drama they are staging by breaching the Constitution is not acceptable. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria should not be subjected to the whims and caprices of a godfather who, by the way, is not above the law, so he cannot confer protection he does not have on law-breaking lawmakers. The NDC consequently calls on the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to within 72 hours announce the conduct of by-elections into the 27 constituencies that the lawmakers vacated. Failure on the part of the INEC to comply with the law will result in our Congress mobilizing like-minded Nigerians to organize citizens' actions against the electoral body. This will include, but not limited to, occupying the Commission's office in Rivers State and its national headquarters in Abuja. We will also hold sit-ins at the country office of the United Nations in Abuja until the international community prevails on INEC to do the needful. It is our sincere hope that this will not degenerate to that stage before by-elections into the 27 state constituencies are conducted. Our Congress urged the international community, particularly the United Nations and the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, to pay heed to what is going on in Rivers State and to immediately weigh in now that it is still possible to prevent a descent into anarchy, as the former lawmakers intend for the state and the rest of Nigeria. We want the ECOWAS in particular to note that the situation in Rivers State is more dire than the coups they have condemned in Nigeria, in Mali, and in Burkina Faso. The implication of the Rivers misadventure on democracy in the West African sub-region is better not imagined, because we see a kind of contagion that will return the entire area to the rule of dictators. We call on the remaining 5 members of the Rivers State House of Assembly who did not defect to the APC to immediately take the necessary steps to prevent impostors and non-House members from gaining access to the State House of Assembly chambers. They should seek the support of the necessary law enforcement agencies to ensure that hoodlums are kept away from the complex for the sake of preserving democracy, not just in Rivers State, but across Nigeria, as no one knows the extent of damage that the reverberation that could do to the polity. The NDC further calls on the remaining Rivers State House of Assembly members to approach a court of competent jurisdiction to prohibit the sitting of the Parliament, which presently no longer has the requisite quorum until such a time that it can form a quorum on account of new members being elected and sworn in into the vacated seats. The lawmakers must also contact the Rivers State Command of the Nigerian Police Force to arrest any of the former lawmakers caught impersonating in efforts to gain access into the chambers of the House, as they are no longer eligible to enter the place as lawmakers. We urge members of other state assemblies to learn from the mistake and the failures of Rivers State 27 and not throw away the mandates that the electorate gave them in service of godfathers that will not be able to save them when the law takes its course. We urge President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to come out in clear terms and condemn the criminality being attempted in the name of the political party he leads, the APC. The president should tell Wike and the former lawmakers in clear terms that he cannot be associated or seen to be encouraging these shenanigans. He should distance himself from them, as a matter of fact. Our call on Mr. President is premised on the statement made without good governance as the solution to the violent takeover of government in the West African sub-region. Nigeria cannot, therefore, give what it does not have if it allows a forceful takeover of a state government in the country while preaching for our neighbors to resist from military coup. Our greatest appeal, however, is to Nigerians. We must, as citizens, ask ourselves what further dysfunctionality we are going to subject ourselves to if we do not rise as a united mass to challenge and reject a plot that is meant to enslave us for the benefit of a few carpet crossers. Depending on the extent of support you lend to publicizing our intervention here today, as Nigerians, we are on the threshold of recovering our bearing democracy in our country. The matter at hand is the theater of the absurdity playing out in Rivers State, where, as you are aware, 27 members of the State House of Assembly, without basis as anticipated in the law, defected from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to the All Progressives Party, the APC, or All Progressive Congress. There is absolutely no need for any merry-go-round in this matter, since the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as amended, stated in Section 109, subsection 1, and I read, a member of the House of Assembly shall vacate his seat in the House if, subsection G says, being a person whose election to the House of Assembly was sponsored by a political party, he becomes a member of another political party before the expiration of the period for which that House was elected. Even morality does not permit the kind of fraud that the Rivers State 27 want to pull on Nigeria while hiding under the toga of parliamentary practice. They cannot come up and create an entirely different set of rules for themselves, since Rivers is still an integral part of Nigeria. Please note that the Supreme Court has ruled on this matter, and the Apex Court will not reverse itself, especially since the facts have not changed, and neither has the Constitution been amended. The scam of asking concerned Nigerians to go to court does not arise or apply in this instance. The 27 controversial lawmakers must simply comply with the position of the law by vacating the Rivers State House of Assembly, having breached Section 109, subsection G of the Constitution that brought them into the office. Under the law, these lawmakers cease to be elected representatives of the people, and their offices must be declared vacant. We find it most unfortunate that the 27 former Rivers State House of Assembly members were misinformed and misled into defecting into the PDP. From the PDP, I'll take it again. We find it most unfortunate that the 27 former Rivers State House of Assembly members were misinformed and misled into defecting from the PDP to the APC without realizing that their action effectively means they have vacated their seat as elected lawmakers. It is an action that they have themselves to blame for. Had they properly consulted, instead of taking order from someone who has secured himself a long-term political meal, they will not be in the current sorry path where they will now have to take part in by-elections, assuming they can clean tickets in their new political party. Gentlemen, it is on this note that the National Democratic Congress, the NDC, notes with concern that what is playing out in Rivers State portends multiple levels of evil for democracy in Nigeria. On one front, if the criminality playing out at the Rivers State House of Assembly is allowed to stand, it will signal a dangerous phase in the descent into the one-party state that the NDC and other vigilant groups and individuals have been warning about. Had we been more stringent and resolute in demanding that the right thing be done, perhaps we would not be in this dangerous situation.